What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven here with your afternoon snap, and we are currently in the top 4 of a little tournament in the Snap Judgments League, and looks like we are both rocking some stones here. Makes sense. Don't love this opening loadout for us, though, with no on-reveal stones for Valhalla. Yeah, this is probably going to have to be a retreat from the rip, unfortunately. Never mind. Project Pegasus, I have priority, and I can Goliath them now, which is pretty interesting. I think Goliath with Prio is pretty good, and I will get to draw one card here from Space Stone. Could maybe find me Wiccan. Do wonder what the chances are that they... Let's just throw it in. I'm not going to snap, because they have equal reason to just completely throw off from this location. So I don't want to go all in. Using up my Goliath and my snap all in one turn could be a little bit risky. They do full send in Valhalla, though. That is going to be a lot of value for us because they are not going to get any value off of any of these stones. Now, No Hood looks like a Killmonger version of Thanos, and we have now locked them up in Valhalla. Well, that certainly feels snap-worthy now. We can also Cosmo, so that way they cannot be on revealing for the rest of the game. That is going to completely trap them in Valhalla, because with priority, throwing down a Cosmo here means that they will have no opportunity to Killmonger us now. I assume this would have been a Killmonger this turn. Yep. So that gets them pretty good. That does mean that my Mind Stone... You know what? My Mind Stone's fine here. We've won this location. They cannot do anything in Valhalla. They're going to get another Mind Stone trigger, give them Reality Stone, but we get, a whole bunch of draws to... This is going to... okay, they're just going to retreat. That makes a lot more sense. All right, so they are on the Killmonger build of Thanos, which we've battled up against before. We're currently in the top 4 of this event. I'm not sure if I said that at the start of this video. I didn't really record the start of this event. I battled this opponent on my phone, though, and we were both using different decks for the opening portion, so I'll probably just edit that out, though I did use a fun deck. We both used completely different decks, and now we are on this, an X23 set to 2. I've got a nice curve out for Wiccan. I think we are snapping. Might have a little bit trouble landing some of my cards, but Speed can land into Dark Dimension just fine. Goliath is great for Dark Dimension, and even if I have to Wiccan into Quantum Realm, I'm fine with that. Worst case scenario, I think we're still looking pretty great here. Reality Stone gets rid of the Quantum Realm, won't have to deal with that. It is now a Kiln, and I think we will just double commit over into Kiln then, just to try to lock that location up. Speed plus Wiccan should be plenty good and allow me, with actually, the shield gives you a pretty decent odd to win Dark Dimension, because you can move the shield into Dark Dimension on turn 5 to give you priority for the Goliath turn. So, yeah, usually this is pretty gravy. We might have to keep this here for one turn and then move it into Superflow on turn 6, but if we do that, it seems kind of tough for my opponent to find a way out of it. The other thing that we could do is just battle for priority naturally by putting down a bunch of points next turn into Superflow, and we might have to, depending on what they play to the Kiln here, though I don't imagine it's going to be anything super crazy. Yeah, Killmonger or Venom, that's 7 points. If X23 lands in Dark Dimension, they could actually wind up taking priority, but not going to be the case. Could still happen if they destroy it this turn. So we do have to decide if that's worth not moving the shield over. We also have Cosmo with priority plus Mockingbird here. feel like that probably stops a lot of the things that they would like to do. They've already seen the Cosmo. They should already know about the Mockingbird. I think we can just safely move over the shield. It's more total points, right? Because then we can move the shield out next turn. But I don't see how this ever loses. So I'm just going to go for this. Next turn we can move the shield into Kiln or Dark Dimension. And that will allow me to pretty freely Alioth. And that's going to be a Cosmo on you. What else are they rocking over here? This is Space Stone plus Killmonger. Space Stone plus Lady Deathstrike. They're going to get Lady Death stuck with that. And then Alioth to the only location they can play to. We'll make this a GG. So we'll take them for 2 more cubes. Just got to hope to not get caught out. We're taking, like, good, consistent cubes. We just don't want to be surprised. And it's good that we're seeing a decent portion of their deck as well. But I'm trying to think, like, I'm going to put together their remaining cards. It's Thanos, Death. And then I'm kind of drawing a blank. Maybe it plays Null. I'm not sure. Probably Shang-Chi goes along with all of those other cards. I don't know if this is an Arnim Zola deck. I don't think it is, though. Ooh, the Raft. The Raft is a reasonable location for them. So let's get rid of it. I'll be playing Sam on turn 2. X23, yeah. I like this line then. Central Park. They would have been able to fill Dream Dimension this turn, or the Raft this turn. Oh, and I get a free bird now? Oy vey. That could be enough to just slam an Iron Patriot, huh? It's going to give them a free death if they Killmonger. It also means I do want to play Mockingbird next turn. But maybe I do still just play Sam. Try to get the most activations out of that. Next turn, just go Iron Patriot, Mockingbird into Central Park. Yeah, that seems smart to me. They do have an extra energy here. And we could hold the Mockingbird for 1 more second, but I don't think it is worth the risk. I think we just want to get the bird out of our hand, so that way in case they Killmonger this turn, we're not stranded with a 6 bird. Or it'd be a 5 bird. But still, let's get it out there. Bring out your birds. Killmonger opens me up significantly as well because this is a Central Park game. This could be an Enchantress over here. This could be... okay, just a bird for them. So... we can Cosmo Destroyer. I found the line. I found the line. That is a beauty. So I will probably want to Cosmo here. It stops the X23 as well. My opponent does have priority this turn. And then I'm playing Time Stone. Next turn I can either play Thanos or I can play Destroyer Strange Supreme, which will probably be the play. Oh, it's going to be... the Dream Dimension's going to catch me off guard. How about that? This will cost 4, this will cost 3. I still think, because we could final turn Cosmo instead. You should definitely be snapping. This should be enough points in Central Park. I don't know what I'm doing next turn yet. That's not the Killmonger either. Ooh, and that kind of implies no Killmonger even. Strange Supreme, very good against Killmonger, so it's also additional incentive to get it out as soon as possible. And... I mean, now it seems like we just do this... and then on the final turn we've got Cosmo plus Destroyer with some potential to get funky with it. If we eat one of these two cards, we can move over the shield and drop Cosmo Destroyer and Xandar, which also seems reasonable. Just playing 5 points this turn. Can't play Thanos. Space Stone is less. Looks good to me. This seems pretty tough for my opponent to deal with. Still, a Killmonger could set them up reasonably. It gives them a pretty large null, and if they can drop null plus death on the final turn, they might have a play for it. Null would be 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 17 point null next turn. This is something new by the looks of it. Oh, Hood plus Deathlock? Reality Stone. Sure. Yeah, Reality Stone is one potential way to flip the game in your favor, though not when you give me white-hot room to run. I'm not even Shang-Chiable center, so I do think I'm uncatchable there, and this is just slightly more points than playing Thanos, and at a slightly better rate. This is a hard loss into Xandar, but I think this is just an incredible amount of points in Dream Dimension that it should be good if we put them on either Thanos or Death, which they haven't made enough to support a null yet. This should get them in Dream Dimension every time. I am still a little worried about like the big blowout card, but I don't think it's coming this game. Could have drawn a card off Space Stone here too, but not important. If they Eliath me, that doesn't blow me out. If they Juggernaut me, I've got nowhere to run. Those could have been interesting options against Destroyer, like if you Eliath just the Cosmo or Juggernaut just the Cosmo, and then I blow up my whole board by accident. All of that could be pretty funny, but it's just going to be a retreat and 2 more cubes for us. Flex on him a little bit.
Destiny will arrive.
Gotta win 2 more or 1 4-cuber, and this is a fantastic start. It's borderline snappable. Against this deck specifically, a turn 2 Strange Supreme after Mind Stone is really quite good. I'll just leave it here for now, though. Time Stone. Yeah, and I'm going to run out the turn 2 Strange so that way I can start Goblin Stones. Ooh, though we also find Sammy. All right. Turn 2 Sammy it is. Turn 3 Strange plus Time. They have Soul Stone. Not that good for them. Ooh, am I going to discard a stone? I do. I discard the best stone, which is a bit of a bummer. But I think we still just play Time Stone here. I like the early Nebula. What did they lose? Killmonger? Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, I'm still playing Strange Supreme this turn. That actually kind of does make me want a Nebula a little bit more, right? I don't think this is a Shadow King deck. Problem is then I'm like either eating Nebula or the shield. I think I'd rather just play the Time Stone so I'm less likely to eat the shield this turn. But I think we can snap because they just lost their Killmonger. Alright, it's accepted, and this is Stone plus Carnage. Or X23 plus Carnage, even better. I didn't think about a Juggernaut in this obvious setup location, but we'll let them have it for now. Eat the Mind Stone, that was best case scenario as well. This needs to get played here. This is the only stone that doesn't need to get played front and center, but I'm not battling for... I'm not battling for Power Stone at this point. This leaves a lot of randomness on the table, but allows me to keep my Wiccan curve and draw 2 cards while not filling either of these locations and getting nebula points. There's a lot of things right with this, so we're going to go for it. Reality Stone in the dark, a little silly, but we'll see how punished we get for it. Oh, it also doesn't contribute to a Mockingbird, so Mockingbird will cost 2 next turn. We could play it alongside Red Guardian. We could roll a 50-50 to try to hit their X-23 here. We eat my Nebula. That's a bummer. Oh, and we find the Wiccan, actually. So this will just be a Wiccan turn then, and we'll figure out the rest. Next turn, Mockingbird will cost 3. Juggernaut plus Thanos is a play. Juggernaut plus Mockingbird plus Red Guardian is not a play, because Mockingbird will cost 3. Mockingbird plus Thanos is a play. Lady Deathstrike gonna gobble up some stones, so Mockingbird is off the menu. We are still... Oh yeah, the werewolf. Yeah, werewolf's a lot of points. Interestingly, Cosmo does not stop werewolf from coming out, and my opponent has priority. That is pretty interesting info, because that means that they will still get werewolf into Dark Dimension, and I can't stop that. What I can kind of do here, well, if they destroy these cards, if they play Venom, werewolf will jump over into Pet Mansion, which is annoying. They could also Shang-Chi here. It feels like this is just my play, to be honest. Or retreating. We've still battled for Dark Dimension by putting 1 point there. And if they want to play a stone into Dark Dimension, their werewolf's going to jump and they'll waste a lot of points. Oh, I don't have Prio, so this Cosmo is kind of terrible, isn't it? But if they have Shang-Chi, they have Shang-Chi, right? This beats Thanos over here. Or Death. We'll try this. Alright, I just played for points. And were the points enough? It looks like they will be with this sequence from my opponent. Thanos plus stone, but not a moving stone. Not going to move the werewolf. But regardless, they will lose those 2 side locations. We'll win the match and move on to the finals. We are doing sort of a double dip. This is also going to count as a league match in that one league that I'm in. I think I'm 3-3 in that league. So this will potentially put me in the positive for that league and also give me a qualifier for the other league thing that I'm in. And no hints on what king is playing over there, but they can see pretty easily what we are doing. Ooh, I think this emote's brand new. I think that's a brand new emote. We don't have the Wiccan curve. We are going to run out the Strange Supreme next turn. I might as well play into Fisk Tower in case they're playing Scream. Oh. Huh. Well, now I think I Juggernaut in Gamma Lab. I mean, I could also just Shang-Chi in Gamma Lab. But I think we're going to Juggernaut in Gamma Lab now. It's interesting. There's different opportunities here. We can Juggernaut to protect ours, Shang-Chi to kill theirs. I think I like the aggressive Juggernaut, though. Let's start with a Time Stone. Ooh, alright. This is going to get a snap from me. So now we have 2 options. We can just lay out my stones. Oh, right. Wait, no, this is a classic Strange plus Gamma Lab game. A classic. I don't know what order all of these things act in, but I think I should let them make a Hulk. We'll kill their Hulk, and I'll eat mine with Strange Supreme. We'll see what happens. But I want to draw 2 cards with Mind Stone. I don't want to draw a 3rd card with Space Stone. We are going to overdraw here. I could actually Could actually see just doing this then. Playing Mind Stone next turn. Sure. It's about the same. It's like one less point from the Space Stone in the future, but one more draw with the Mind Stone when I get it. Oh, Misty Knight. Was not expecting that one. This Hulk is, unfortunately for them, not high evolutionaried. I assume that that Misty Knight was. We can't see. Yeah, we can't see what it was. Cosmo to protect Strange is good. Shang to just take out their Hulk right now is fine. Especially if the plan is like Juggernaut next turn. I will want to Mind Stone and find my Reality Stone. I think we're going to do this for now, though. I think this is good enough before they potentially drop a Chimera or something. Looks like they might also be Shang-Chian, which means we will eat our shield here. No, this is Cyclops. Okay. Well, now I definitely want to start dropping stones because I want Strange to eat my stones, not my Hulk. I'd love to have two separate Hulk locations. Probably not possible. I also do want to find Reality Stone in case my opponent goes for that next turn, but there is also just Thanos, eat Hulk, next turn Cosmo, Juggernaut. That is basically unbeatable. I mean, I guess this is actually a slightly better play. No, because then it gets a minus point from Cyclops. This could have downsides, but it could also have more upsides. Let's go for this. We haven't seen the magic yet. They have a one-turn window to play magic. It gets a little bit awkward if they do. But I think we can still battle. This most likely takes priority. It spends all of my energy in case they're playing Red Hulk. I don't actually know what this deck list is, but our previous opponent played a very similar deck in the previous round, so I'm kind of considering that might be the case. No, this looks to be a little bit more Affliction heavy, so that's interesting. It certainly feels like we need to Cosmo here, right? And then a Juggernaut here should lock it up. That certainly feels unbeatable. I mean, this is like the nuts. I think this is the best possible loadout for me. A 30-point Strange Supreme's a little over the top, but that means that if we knock an Ajax into that location with Juggernaut, we should be fine. And they don't have any cost reduction that we've seen this game. So that also makes me feel pretty confident about this turn. I think we could be seeing a slow retreat here from King of Canada. I think they've hit me with those before, like a real slow one, after they consider all of their options, of course. But 14 points in a Juggernaut location and 33 points in a Cosmo location. I've done my due diligence. That's about all I can do, right? I think we're good on this one. And one card that is going to get Juggernauted into a Cosmo location, that'll lock it up. That is a Hulk. They could have had the points if we played Cosmo here, or even like, no, if we had a Goliath here, we still win. But yeah, I mean, fair on them to go for it with a Hulk. That's 16 points. It's a lot of power, but that is why we play the Juggernaut. Don't have too much info on my opponent's deck. We also do know about an off-screen High Evo and Misty Knight. Those are two cards not currently showing for us. Juggernaut, not going to be the best in a New York game, so Iron Patriot Jug could get us there. Ooh, Nidavellir. Yeah, this will give us an Iron Patriot discount, almost assuredly. I'm going to wait to snap till we see what this Iron Patriot discount is actually on, though. Doubt they play 2 cards here this turn. It's not a She-Hulk deck. It is an Ajax deck, or it's an Abomination deck, at the very least, right? That is the main card, and I think I've seen people run High Evo just for Abomination. I wouldn't actually expect to see Red Hulk in this list, though we could still. I mean, Magic is still a reasonable card for them to play. They are going to have priority this turn, but I don't think that stops me. Orca is probably interesting enough. Though that does muddy the mixture here a little bit, because I could Red Guardian shut down Misty Knight, not have to deal with that, and then Juggernaut into Asgard next turn. I don't think I need the cards. I think I don't want my opponent to have the cards. And there's one other consideration too, which is Red Guardian on Surge, no longer have to deal with Surge. I think I'm going to Juggernaut, though, for the discounted Orca and use that to win Asgard here. So is that snappable? Next turn I play Orca plus Soulstone in Nidavellir. Let's snap. I think Iron Patriot discount is still snap-worthy. And also, Orca should be winning Asgard here. I think that's the differential. Okay, they played off, and they have a Luke Cage to trigger their Surge. They could slam a biggie here. We unfortunately cannot Wiccan, which is a bit of a bummer. We'll just be Soulstoning, and we don't actually draw from Asgard. We're just trying to deny them draw. But that's still a good plan. Good as any. If my opponent snapped here, I might consider retreating. I'm not as confident in my position right now. It's tough to say. Okay, they're going to battle for Nidavellir this turn. Let me take Asgard, which is not really worth too much. We do get a cheap bird here. This is a 3-bird. And they are looking for a 2-bomination. They've got a 2-bomination in the wings. Next turn, I can play Red Guardian and Cosmo. Which is not great. What I think I'm thinking about here is like battling for Nidavellir, but doesn't this always lose Asgard? Probably. I also don't even love the Mind Stone. I guess the main reason to enjoy the Mind Stone is if they play Magic, which I'm not convinced is in their deck. But still, Reality Stone could be good. Cyclops on the Orca. Actually, they did. This is surged, right? So they did have some leftover energy this turn still. Yeah, this does not seem particularly strong, right? In order to do anything with the Orca, we are still going to have to... We'd have to put a bunch of power into this location, which means they only need a real little bit of power here. 3 points. Barely that, because they've also got Cyclops. So they could play a pretty small card here. Let's say it's Diamondback or a card from Surge. Still gives them 4 points to spend elsewhere. I think this might be my best location because I can play 4 cards here. Might have to do this to try to, like, get lucky. No, that doesn't do anything for me. Red Guardian doesn't even contribute to points. I feel like this is risky. I mean, if they only play Hulk, we win. They haven't played Anti-Venom. I'll stay in it. I think certainly they have a play here. They need to come up with something a little bit funky. Okay, that is a complete dodge of Nidavellir, which is going to beat me in New York. So if I had played Thanos into New York here, yeah, maybe I should have just recognized that New York games are so tricky. I should have recognized that they were going to give me Nidavellir and full battled for New York, and I could have done it with Thanos. Okay, yeah, that's tough. New York just allowed them to battle for multiple locations, which was a little mind flooded on that one, unfortunately. But let's see if we can get back into it. We do have the means to activate an Iron Patriot here by the look of it. So that seems good. That wasn't enough to win the last game, though. And we're tied up now, 6 cubes apiece. So this is anybody's ball game. Their final cards are going to be High Evo, Abomination, probably, I would say Anti-Venom is a pretty solid consideration. That's a bit of a bummer. And Ajax is definitely in there as well. All right. So, knowing that, is this snappable? Well, I don't have a great follow-up for Iron Patriot. But it might just scare them that they've lost their Ajax. Let's snap. This might be a little bullish. I could also see Iron Patriot into the unrevealed location here. And we're definitely worse for wear having lost our Mind Stone, but we might be able to do something with this yet. It is going to be a limbo game, which I think benefits my opponent the most. This is 2 more points here. They have Cyclops. Diamondback is a... Oh, I can't play Sam here. No, this just has to be hope that they don't have exactly Cyclops. Cyclops would be a little bit annoying. But you know what? If I have to pay full price for a Hobgoblin, I think that that's also fine. So we'll move over on turns 4 and 6, so I won't get to make use of the extra limbo turn, unfortunately. And I'm, yeah, I guess kind of banking on the discount, so that way I can play Hobgoblin next turn and fill up Fisk Tower. We are going to get the discount. That feels good. That feels really important, actually. Now we can play Hobgoblin plus Strange Supreme this turn. So do I want to spread my power out in all 3 locations? I think I do. They're going to start pumping up this Hobgoblin, potentially. That's fine. Next turn, I do not really have a play. But this is the best play we can make this turn. This does look like a Cyclops. So I'm glad we played the hobby here. Oh, that's a Diamondback. Okay. Diamondback doing nada for now. We eat the shield. Strange gotta eat. Alright. And this just looks like Bird into Thanos into Eliath. Potentially Cosmo Shang-Chi is actually a pretty good turn 7, right? Yeah, that actually, I like that a lot. We'll still battle for priority. They'll play a Hulk on turn 6. We'll Shang-Chi it. Cosmo, a location where it looks like we're already winning significantly. So I could have just Mockingbird into Sokovia, but then they would potentially Hulk that location. I'm Mockingbirding in Fisk Tower with the idea that we're going to eat a stone this turn, and I'm trying to keep my power level as flat as I can across the 3 locations. This is a potentially an overcommit into Fisk Tower, though. So I guess if I really wanted the flattest power level, I would play Bird into Limbo, which is a nice 13. The Hulk isn't going to be 13. Hulk's been growing this whole time. That's Abomination. That is not shangable. Does kind of make me wish I had a bird here. So, now what we could do is play Reality Stone, and unfortunately we cannot also battle for Limbo. It's a beautiful play had we played a Time Stone. We can Reality Stone, also win Limbo, and then my opponent would have to win both of these other two locations. I still might like the play. We're up by 15 points here. So, we're not up by 15. We're up by 14. Is 14 enough? It becomes 13 if Misty Knight hits here. I could lose to a Hulk right here. I could also lose to a Hulk right here, so it's quite concerning. Where do I think they would play a Hulk? Do I think they would even play a Hulk? They could play a Laufey here. Let's go for it. They did not play anything. They skipped for She-Hulk, and we got him for 4 cubes. Wow. Weird world. Oh, baby. They skipped for Infinite or She-Hulk. I don't know. I don't care. 4 cubes, baby. We are now up 6-2. And we just have to win one of the next 3 games, which is pretty good. There's a little bit, we just still have one more game, not in high stakes mode, but that Reality Stone for a clutch win is why you play Thanos, really. I mean, Reality Stone is just fantastic. So I would have to say the remaining cards here then have to be Ajax, High Evolutionary, and then either She-Hulk or Infinite, but I would assume She-Hulk. So we can push them all in here with a snap. That is probably reasonable. We have Juggernaut to win the Iron Patriot battle. Let's make them pay to play. A lot of stakes here on this tournament, and we have quite the footing right now. So we probably Iron Patriot. Ooh, this could be nasty. I'm tempted to Iron Patriot where I'm already winning, but because we have access to Juggernaut, let's go here. The only way we lose this is if both of these locations are, like, terrible for us. There's other ways that we lose, I assume, too. But right now, it is looking good. I think we jug into Nick Fury. Oh, Nick Fury in Krakoa, too. Krakoa could actually be a really good location for my opponent. So we do have to watch out for that a wee bit. I don't even know if I really want to play Nick Fury here. I could play Speed. I don't know if that works. I could play Mockingbird. I'll just keep the Nick Fury as a 1/6. Next turn, drop the bird into Krakoa, because I want to play into Krakoa on turn 4 so that I can play into another Krakoa on turn 5. So we're setting up for that. We're blowing the Juggernaut, but I'm fine with that. They Cyclops into Krakoa. That is not going to be good unless we hit the second Krakoa as well, and that's a Dream Dimension. So that is looking pretty fantastic for me. If we could find a souped up stone, that's looking pretty good. Next turn, we won't be able to... Oh, wait, everything's going to cost 2 more. So I could play Speed and perfectly spend my energy. Okay, that's probably what we're looking for then. And then the final turn will be 3 stones, a Cosmo, and a Nick Fury. 2 stones, a Cosmo, and a Nick Fury. It's a big Surge and a Misty Knight. They're going big in Krakoa. It's interesting. I feel like seeing how their deck is structured, I might also go for Krakoa. Well, certainly I go for Krakoa with this. Turn off Misty Knight with Prio. Next turn is... You have 3 stones. 2 stones, Nick Fury, and a speed. Just as many points as we can possibly get out there. All right, I think we have just about wrapped her up. They can put a bunch of points into... Actually, their cards cost 2 more this turn. The most they can play is like a Diamondback in Krakoa right here. A Luke Cage, perchance. What did they have last game? I'm really curious. It must have been She-Hulk. This does look like a Diamondback. We're going to get rid of their Misty Knight. And yeah, Diamondback does not even put them over the top in Krakoa. We're still winning Krakoa for now, though they will be able to flip it with Cyclops at the end of turn, or potentially with Hazmat plus Luke Cage. Not going to stress about that. I am just going to put up winning points in every location. This beats exactly Cyclops. No, that's not true. If they Diamondback... Oh, that's interesting. So if Diamondback is an additional -2, so if Cyclops hits Red Guardian plus, let's say, plus this other card, that's an effective -6 on my points this turn. So I've got 10 points here right now. Yeah, so let's calculate it like that. Let's just put Nick Fury here. That should play around most outcomes, including Hazmat. Yeah. And then we will divvy up these points so that they have to battle for every location, and that should do it. They could play Hazmat plus Abomination, but we're not beating Abomination in Dream Dimension. Do they have me with Hazmat plus Abomination here? I don't think so, because then they're not playing Luke Cage, which I think makes this playable. But yeah, this is Hazmat plus Abomination. That is a pretty good play from my opponent. But even with the Cyclops trigger, we're above them in Krakoa. It's Laufey, basically the same thing there. But we just barely played around them in Krakoa for the win. And there we go. That is Strange Wiccan Thanos still getting it done. I'm NoLucksGiven. Thank you guys very much for watching. Peace.